Okay, here I'm going to go through a couple examples, show you timer. First thing I'm going to do is show you timer counting up, because that's kind of by default how the timer works, and then I'll go through an example how you can modify that to do countdown timer, which I think is more specifically what you're looking at, or looking for. So I will create a new project, and I'll let it identify its hardware. And the first thing I'll do is I will create a timer, and I'm just going to call it my timer. And I'll wire to that. And then I'm going to be comparing the timer value to, I'll use 5 seconds in this example. We'll say if the timer is greater than 5 seconds, do something. And what we'll do is we'll turn on a light, and I'll just hook it to one of my outputs that I've got here. And if it's off, or if it's the no case of this question, it's gonna go down here, and we'll go to make that off. And the next thing we'll do is we'll check to see if it's over 10 seconds, and if it is, we'll reset the timer. So I'm just going to do a Control-C, a copy, and then I click down, it does a paste. I want that from the yes, and we'll tell it to reset the timer. Okay, and now I'm going to add one of these wire routers to have it all loop back to the beginning. I could probably space that a little bit better. Okay, so what it'll do is it's going to start the timer. It's going to ask it, is my timer greater than 5 seconds? If so, turn on this light or this output. And if it's greater than 10, go ahead and reset and start over. On the case that it was less than 5 seconds, it'll turn off the output. And in the case that it's greater than 5 seconds but less than 10 seconds, then it's also going to go ahead and loop from the beginning. Okay, so we'll program this. I'll enter debug mode, I'll look at the values, and I'll have it run. And we can see the timer going up, and we're going to see this guy switch. See, it's on now because it's between 5 and 10 seconds, and then this is going to reset it so it's back off. You can see that working. I'm going to lower this so we get a little more view. Okay, so we'll exit debug mode, and we'll convert this to a countdown situation. So what we want to do there is we're going to use a calculator for this. And I'm going to store the results in a new variable I'm going to call countdown. And we're going to make that an i32. And what it's going to be is, we'll say we'll count down from 10. Like this other guy was really going 0 to 10. We'll make this go 10 down to 0. And my timer, the value that's actually inside of my timer, the timer variables, those are stored in hundredths of a second. So we need to take our 10 seconds and we need to multiply it by 100. And then this countdown is going to be that value minus the thing that we're subtracting out, so it'll be my timer. Okay, and it's going to take that equation and it's going to store the value, the resulting value, in that countdown value. Okay, so I'm just going to move some of this stuff down. Okay, we'll have it go there, then here, and we can check if countdown is less than, we'll go with, if it's less than 5 seconds, we'll, I meant to do the less than command. We'll do something, and we'll say, we'll keep it the same logic. We'll just turn it off if it's less than, or if it's less than 5 seconds, it'll go this path. If it's greater than 5 seconds, it'll go this path. So what it'll end up doing is it'll kind of be the opposite of the lights situation we had a minute ago, where it will start with on, and then after 5 seconds it'll go to off, but real similar. Okay, and then we're going to change this one also to countdown, and we're going to make that less than 0 seconds. And we're using an I32, so it's a signed value, so it can loop to negative, but we're going to be, and I need to be using the less than statement. We're going to be checking this thing so rapidly, it'll be almost exactly at the time you're looking for. And we need this to loop back to this statement. Otherwise, I think everything's going to stay the same. So we'll program that. I'm going to set it to debug mode and look at the values. And we should see it starting basically at 10, and it's counting down. And you see when it gets below the value, it turns it on. And then it's going to reset it again. So you can see this this countdown value right here. You can see it counting. Remember, it's multiplied by 100. That's the actual value there. But when we use these comparison and we tell it to look at seconds, it's going to go ahead and do the conversion for you in this little comparison thing. I think that answers your question. Just go ahead and let me know if there's some other questions you have.